Hi, I'm Heath from Shogun International. I'm here to talk to you today about the new 2014 C7 Corvette. This is a vehicle that we've just finished prototyping it. We've spent 20,000 man hours converting this vehicle and prototyping it, and it really has come up to be a very, very nice car. Chevrolet have really hit the nail on the head with this vehicle. This is probably the best vehicle that we've ever road tested and driven. They've really got an amazing package in this car, and to spend all the time that we have to get a perfect conversion certainly means that this has turned out to be an exceptional motor car. I'm going to start just to give you an understanding of what's involved with the conversion on this vehicle. When we get one of these cars, we completely strip it down. We have to remove the windscreen, we have to remove the bonnet, we have to remove the entire interior as in any other conversion. But with this one, we actually have to separate the entire drivetrain from the actual body itself. So it comes out and all we're left with is a bare shell. So once we've got that vehicle, we have to do all of the modifications and putting it back together. So what you see on the inside is only a partial to the actual conversion itself. It's only a small part of the conversion. But in saying that small part of the conversion, has certainly provided a heck of a lot of challenges for us. And like most people who are involved in one of these vehicles now, they would probably say the same thing. We haven't been the first to finish the C7 Corvette, but we were not prepared to release our vehicle until we had all of our prototyping 100%. And at the moment, we're very happy with the product that we are about to release to the market. Okay, so just having a quick look, as you can see, starting under the bonnet on the Corvette, the first thing that you'll notice is that we actually change our wipers around from the original configuration to suit right-hand drive. We've just got the caps missing here, but normally they'd just be pressed on as well. What we've actually done is we've utilised the original wiper scuttle, but again, like we always do, we put fill-in panels. So we utilise as much of the original as we can. We put a new driver's side filler panel, we put a centre filler panel to be able to move it to where it needs to be, and we've also put a filler panel to a cover panel where the wiper used to be on the opposite side. Of course, there's also the rubber that comes on here as well, that gets fitted as well. The wipers work effectively. We've used the original wipers, we don't use an aftermarket wiper. We cut and modify and re-weld them and paint them and put them back on, and the wipers give the sweep that you want it to, that you need to have. I'm aware that some people don't do the conversion on the wipers. It is very difficult to do. That was one of the biggest challenges that we posed with reconfiguring the firewalls on this vehicle, was the actual relocation of the wipers, because you're working in a very, very cramped space like everything on this vehicle. It's very hard to be able to locate the motors and the drive for the wipers on this vehicle. On this vehicle, we've obviously, if you have a look under the bonnet, we've switched the electrics across to the fuse box across to the passenger side of the vehicle. Obviously, the filler bottle for the radiator has been moved to the opposite side to accommodate the booster on now the driver's side of the vehicle. We've got all our braided lines and braided hoses on all our air conditioning pipes. Anything to do with heater pipes, brake lines, they've all been braided, and they've all it all just gives it extra abrasion resistance, and it just makes the vehicle look very presentable as well. So really, and when you look under the bonnet, it looks very, very standard, because it is. Okay, we've also included very nice firewall padding. We managed to find enough room to be able to put the padding on the vehicle all sewn and stitched to contour all of the lines of the firewall. And then once all of that was done, we were able to put the engine back into the vehicle, and we were able to marry up the drivetrain back to the body of the vehicle. Once that's all done, obviously the car has no panels. We then can, we then go around and finalise all the electrics prior to being able to put the dash and all the interior back into the vehicle. So that was the first challenge, was obviously trying to work out the firewalls and work out the wiper scuttles and all of that, but that's all worked out very nicely, and it's all worked out to be exactly as a manufacturer would have wanted it on a right-hand drive vehicle. Some of the features of this vehicle as well, just to point out, we've actually put on the interior of the vehicle, we put entire new carpets throughout the vehicle, because the way that the carpets are contoured on the vehicle, they actually don't allow you to really modify them. You would actually have to cut the carpet and sew a whole new piece of carpet in, which you can't match the carpet, you can't marry it up. You're going to notice that it is very visible to make that modification. So we put new carpet throughout the back of the vehicle, all through it. It's been completely recarpeted. have a quick look, you'll see down here as well. We also stitch a padding onto the floor. We do the same on the Camaros, so that it's actually, it's meant to be that way so that you don't dirty the carpets and things like that and damage the carpets. So we put the pads and everything the way we want them on this vehicle. Some of the features of the conversion, we actually chose to make a whole new door card on this vehicle. We didn't utilize the original. That was an option. We could have used the original, but we had to make inserts, we had to make covers that went over, and it really wasn't going to give a very good result. So we opted to make an entirely new door trim panel. So just having a quick look, this car it's prior to delivery yet and detail and things like that, but we've made we've made all new speaker panels. We've utilised the original switches, here, all new panels, new bolster. The surround is all new, the panel is all new. The only thing that is original here are the switches and the actual speaker grille there. Other than that, the whole thing is new. Same with the passenger side door as well. If you actually have a look across there, you'll see that, and it's all mirror image. There was about 2.5 months spent on making all the parts for the door panels on their own, but that was the first thing that we had to do for the interior, was make all the door panels. As you can see, the center console has been completely reversed. We've got all of this in here. That's all. It's all been handed the way it's meant to be handed towards the driver. We did leave the original this coin compartment and drinks compartment there. We didn't modify that, and we left that because best to leave something like that unmodified. You can't really replicate that, but it fits in nicely with the vehicle and it all works very well. Everything inside the vehicle has been completely reconfigured and remade. All your center console, all your dash, all your door panels, everything is new. This vehicle was a little bit more difficult because this is a manual version. Most of the cars that people are working on have been automatics, and being manual, well, that produced quite a lot of, was quite difficult in the fact that we had to also allow for the clutch pedal mechanism and the fitment with the tightness inside the engine compartment. But so it was good that we did the first vehicle as a manual, because obviously it's only easier from this point in. And we've also got several automatics that are on the go at the moment, and they're obviously quite a bit easier to do. We've actually chosen to for the hazard switch and for the passenger presence lights. They were proving to be a problem because the actual original location is here on next to this vent. So what we actually decided to do was to remove those items from the dash, and we actually put a passenger presence light up here, which is it's a proper Chevrolet part, and we've also put the hazard switch down next to the start switch, next to the steering column, and that has and we've made it really nice. As you can see, the Stingray logo in the middle of the dash, and it looks really nice. The option of trying to utilize the original switch or cut it, or trying to make it work, there's just no real good way. Some people have used it. They've had to use some covers over it with holes cut through to be able to access the switch and to be able to see the passenger presence light, and it really doesn't do any justice to the car. So we went to that little bit of extra trouble to be able to provide a new switch, a new passenger presence light, and to also produce a little Stingray plaque in the middle. And quite frankly, I think it goes really well with the car. It really complements it quite nicely. As far as the air conditioning goes, relatively simple on this car. The aircon was simple. We really didn't have to change too much on it. We had to change the entry point for the air coming from the fresh air entry to the left-hand side of the vehicle from the right. And so it's pretty much unaffected. There were challenges with regards to being able to get all of the controls working properly, but they all work as per the manufacturer's intentions. It's just been reversed. As for the actual air vents, the air vents were original and they've all been modified. Big job, but we managed to find a way to modify the originals so that they all work and they look exactly as they're meant to look. So that's worked out very nicely. As you can see, it's got the passenger airbag cover on the passenger side over there. The center speaker grille has been changed as well. We made a new speaker grille for the center. There's very little that has remained original other than a few of the basic controls. The stereo, we've made a new surround for the stereo. The centerpiece to allow the button from the on-off control has been moved to closer to the driver. Look, there's as I was saying, there's very little that's original on this car, and it's turned out to be a very nice conversion. We've also, on the passenger side, if we come around this side, we'll have a quick look. You'll be able to see we've actually put a mirror extension to allow us to have better field of view, to allow us to kick the mirror out a little bit more, and that's worked really well for us as well. Another thing that we've done as well is if you have a look at the centerpiece in here with the grab handle is, we've made all new pieces, and it's exactly again as the manufacturer had intended with their vehicle as well. So that's worked out really well. So yeah, there's very little that's not the same as what the original car was.